Hello everybody, my name is Bazane Moonshade, and if you are just new to the channel, welcome. I don't really know what to say about it. I just sit here and play games, and I hope you enjoy the storylines that I bring us through. And so far, since 2020 has now started finally, and I am back for a little over 2 weeks now, it's been one heck of a trip. We've spent this first immersion back in through Resident Evil 3, and I had a lot of fun with that, and I'm glad that it's been received so well. I expected several other games to come out right now, and things that we can go through together and enjoy and experience all of these things. And we lost, what was it? I want to say we lost Dying Light 2. That was supposed to come out. And Last of Us 2. That was supposed to come out. And I think there was a few others I can't think of right now. Sorry, I'm a bit fidgety. It's been quite a long day. I'm finally back to work, so I've been doing that for, goodness, a few days now. And while I have been uploading fairly regularly, I think just about every day since I've been back, with I think one or two exceptions, it's just been a little bit tough for me to get back and record and do all that stuff. So I'm going to go back to a little bit slower posting here in a little while. But I hope you guys have been doing well, especially with all of the, coronavirus and everything going about the world right now. Because we're all in sort of a rough spot, right? We've been dealing with a whole bunch of, with social distancing and, dealing with folks who have either contracted the virus or know someone who has, and just shortage of foodstuffs and toilet paper and a few other things. But I just wanted to create this little vlog. I guess that's what you'd call them, yeah? And to just kind of outlay the plans and things of what we're going to be doing together, assuming that you come here to experience these stories and gameplay with me, as I hope you do. I don't do much, as I've already mentioned. So far, I have a few games on here, and I definitely have some older games, the Dead Space series, and I want to say that I played XCOM 2 a while back. And who knows, I might even go back to the original rebirth of XCOM with XCOM Enemy Within. That was a very good game, and a little bit easier to get through. XCOM 2, great game as it is very long, it's very in-depth, and there's a lot of things that you need to get done. So with that, it's almost impossible for me to finish, and there's a lot of editing that goes into that. And granted, I can do some editing and I have time, and especially if I'm going to be slowing down the uploads as I intend to, it's not unforeseeable. But I'm interested to see what everybody who comes to the channel wants to see me go through, or just, if you have an inkling of a game that you're interested in to see. One of my friends recently mentioned, Alien Isolation. That's a very interesting game that I never truly got to finish. I don't even really know how it ends. I did get a short while into it, and then I got distracted with some other games that are big. I think The Division 2 is what distracted me originally from it, and while I enjoy that game, it can be very monotonous as far as watching play, right? I recently got back into Minecraft, and I'm not very good at it. Additionally, there's some other things that came out recently that I'm sure everybody and their mother right now is just going through, like Final Fantasy VII Remake. I mean, what did that take? 20 years to come back into it. And I think when the game originally came out, I didn't even know it existed. The first Final Fantasy game I think I went through was Final Fantasy VIII, and I just fell in love with that particular game's story and the way that it played. A lot of the little games inside of it as well were fun. There was a very good card game that I played, and I think they came out with a remastered version recently. Or not maybe recently, I don't know. Within the last year or so, is basically what I'm getting at. And, just some things that I'd like to do as far as just stuff on the channel. And, I'm going to include some of my friends as well. We're going to be doing some compilations together, yeah. I think there was another game that came out, what was it? Wolfenstein Youngblood came out, right? And that's a complete co-op storyline. And I think I got it. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look again. I think I did. But it'd be fun to go through an entire story with one of my friends, or just anybody really, for that, just to see what Wolfenstein has come. Because I played Wolfenstein, I want to say it was First Blood, or Wolfenstein New Order, and then there's the New Colossus or something like that, and then this Youngblood is the continuation of the new series. So I played the first two and they were great, and I think they even had like a DLC game which was the Old Blood, which was fun. You got to go back into Blazkowicz I think it was before New Order, like when they were attacking a different area of the German line or the Nazi line, and yeah. So I'm interested in that, and then there was a Remnant for the Ashes game that came out that wasn't so bad either. But I've also been like playing around with some like survival games and such that I think are kind of interesting. Journey to the Savage Planet I think has been out for a while, and it did a console release. I'm been a huge fan of Ark Survival Evolved for a while. Buggy as that game is, it just is addicting. There's some other games that came out. Stranded Deep I think recently just had a console release, so that'd be fun to go through. But I'm interested to see, like as a community of YouTube in general, what we might be interested to see, just someone else play. I mean, I watch so many YouTubers play separate games in my spare time that it's interesting. That's how a lot of games that I have no awareness of. That's how I end up like deciding whether I want to purchase. I get the initial bit of it, and then I'll go, oh, well that'd be fun. I do intend to do like a full playthrough of The Last of Us, especially since The Last of Us 2 got delayed, which is unfortunate because we were all looking forward to that one. And I think it'd be an apt time to go through and kind of relive the story, right? Make us all cry a bit. And I loved that game. It's one of my favourite games ever. I do hope that the channel will enjoy it, because I think that might be my next upload unless I do some cursory things here and there. But I'm just looking for some feedback and just to kind of like welcome anybody new to the channel. If you are, just getting here, or, you got pushed onto me from like a friend who knows. This is a wonderful outlet, especially in times like these where we're not allowed to get out and about and actually see our friends in person, And this gives us a way to connect with others in a way that we haven't really seen in the past. I mean, granted, this has been an ongoing medium now for the better part of, God, it must be like, a decade or more. I think of some of the famous YouTubers who have been doing it, and they just up and coming in the past, like, 10 years alone. You go from something like a couple thousand subscribers to just like millions and millions of people just all looking for your content, which is a beautiful thing. And they are able to do wonderful stuff for the world just from that awareness, and I love it. And I'm able to contribute in my own small way in that regard. And I do hope that, for what content I do put out, well, granted scant and just sort of my weird experiences into here and there, at least make you enjoy it and, bring in little things to your life that you can just get together with anyone and just be like, that guy, he's dumb. But yeah, no, like, I figured this would be just like a little change to the content that I post typically. I don't get a whole lot of time. Well, I mean, granted, anytime you're experiencing a storyline with anyone, I think, if they're sitting next to you on the couch or if they're watching you through some sort of other medium, is a way to connect to people. And it's something that has been incredibly enjoyable for me on a personal level doing it this way, because it gives a sort of creative outlet that I don't typically get. And for anybody that knows me truly, know that very typically I am a quiet man, and I'm sure you've experienced it just on my own videos that if you've gone back and seen any of them, or if you've been from me from the start, welcome, well done. This is just, it's so enjoyable, and I'm grateful that something like this exists for us to do, and I'm just glad that I have a way to share my experiences with others, and if you enjoy it, great. I'm so happy that we get to go through this stuff. Yeah, I just any sort of feedback is absolutely welcome. For those of you who have commented in the past, you are a treasure, and I love getting able to read your responses and being able to respond in my own little ways I can. But anything that anybody wants to see me go through as a content stuff, I'm more than willing to try. I'm not very discerning a gamer. I don't get, well, I guess I am. I don't get into much of the like the racing and sports games. I feel as though those have their place, and it's interesting to watch from time to time. But I don't know. It's never been my medium, right? I mean, we've got like several games that fall into a similar vein as I've done in the past. We've got things like Dying Light as well, so especially since that one got pushed back now, and they don't even know when there's going to be a release date. Like, it's a sad thing to see when it was such, like, everyone was excited because Dying Light when itself was just like a huge like uptick in that particular style of gaming. And if you think about where gaming has come from in times, like, it's blows my mind, right? And Dying Light was just a complete evolution of that style of game that was brought forth by Dead Island. And Dead Island 2 recently got, you know, I think an actual, hey, we're still building this game, wait for it, right? And Techland, I think, is the developer of that one, and they're the ones who had a direct hand in Dying Light. I mean, I have no issue going through a game like that again. I'll even start from the beginning if you want. I mean, they got rid of a lot of like the duping stuff, so it actually becomes like a harder game finally. But yeah, no, truly, as it comes down to it, I definitely want to hear from you and see what it is you might want on the channel, and we'll see where it goes. And it's been an absolute ride, and I've enjoyed every moment of it. I hope you are as well. And you know, leave me your comments, leave me your likes, leave me your descriptions of things for you, and it's wild, right? Here we are, 2020, and just living basically in the small confines of the gamer's life. Because, I mean, you look at it, gamers have always been the type to stay at home and have our own times with the people that we love and care about. And here we are now in a position where it's like, hey, gamers, we're sorted just to fight through this little crisis that we're going through. Anyway, I hope you're enjoying yourself within the channel and just, you know, having a good time in your own personal lives as well. I look forward to hearing from all of you. I just wanted a little bit of time to try and connect with those of you who come to my channel to see any sort of the content that I put out. I hope you're enjoying it, as I enjoy your time. And yeah, no. Thank you all for watching, and I look forward to seeing all of you in future videos and even this one. But take care, and till next time.